In the last two videos, we looked at the array data structure and how we can use it to store and organize a fixed number of items of the same type. But what happens when we don't know how many items we will have or wish to add or remove items from our array? This video will show how we can use variable-sized arrays, array-like data structures that change size as we add or remove elements to fit the amount of data we have. We know that arrays are simple and effective data structures for storing a collection of things of the same type. However, as we've discussed, arrays are fixed-size data structures. Even when we use variables to specify the size of the array after the program starts, once the array is created, its size can't be changed afterwards. This can be a problem if we decide after creating the array that we want to add new elements. That is, we want to use more space than has been given to the array. To get around this issue, several data structures exist that allow us to work with data in a similar manner to arrays, one of which is the array list. Array lists are created empty and are populated by adding elements one at a time. To create a variable size array to hold integers, we write array list, angular bracket, integer, angular bracket, array equals new array list, angular bracket, integer, angular bracket, and then brackets. You'll notice that the data type in array list, while the data type of the data it will contain is showed inside a pair of angular brackets. So in this case, the data that will be stored inside the array list is integers. Notice that the data type is written differently to usual. Instead of writing int to represent integers, we are using the full name integer with a capital I. This will be the same for all primitive types. Now that we have created our container, how do we insert a new item into the list? To do this, we can use the add method. To add the value 3 to our array, we write array add of 3. By specifying the additional index parameter, we can choose which position in the list we want to insert the new element into. So this code would add the number 4 into the first position of the array list. Similarly, we can use the remove method to remove an element from any position in the array list. If we wanted to remove the value 3, which is now the second value after we added 4, we can write array remove of 1. Accessing and working with the array list is also slightly different in that we need to use methods to read or write the values in the array list, rather than just using the assignment or equals operator to do so. To retrieve a specific element from the array list, we use the get method, specifying the position of the item in the array list that we want as a parameter. If we wanted the first value, we use array get of 0. Similarly, to modify a specific element in the array list, we use the set method, specifying the position and the new value that we will be overwriting it with. To change the first value to 3, we write array set of 0 and 3. To get the number of elements in the array list, we use the size method, being sure to include the brackets at the end. Notice that this is not the same as the length method used to get the length of a static array. What if we wanted to count the number of unique or different words in a document? Finding unique items in a set is another common problem in big data and can be used to filter data sets to reduce future processing. The problem is that we don't know how many unique words there are. We could have a video where we only say the word data over and over, or we could have one where every word is different. This is a good time to use an array list. Taking our code from before, we can modify it to create a new array list of strings to hold a copy of each unique word. Like before, we can use a for loop to go through the array of words. For each of the items in the words array, we can check if we've seen a word before by using the contains function on our unique array, and if not, adding it to the list of words we've seen using the add function for the unique array. To display the number of unique words, we simply need to take the number of items in the unique array list using the size function. Array lists are just one type of variable-sized data structure that you can use when coding and processing, with many others available with their own advantages and disadvantages. The rest of this section will focus on using arrays and array lists, as these are data structures that you will use frequently to solve big data problems.